Okay, here we go. Yesterday we did 1 through 4. Now, yesterday, I told you that tomorrow when you walk in here, all the desks will be facing this one direction. They will. Your formulas will be up there. The one formula you get is basically the mortgage formula. I'll have the labels up there, and then right next to the mortgage formula, that's right behind Matt and Chase there, I'll have the chart with like weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, bi-monthly, that type of thing. That'll be on the board with all those times, because I know on these first problems, whatever I give you, you have to find the year's pay, go back to find the month, and then you can divide by 4. Remember, this hint will not be there tomorrow. Keep that in mind. You have to find the monthly pay, total month. So if I tell you get paid every 2 weeks, don't just multiply by 2, because you got to find out a whole year's pay, then go back to 1 month, because the months are averaged. Because certain months have more than just 4 weeks in them. So you got to be kind of worried about that. So you got to find a total year divided by 12. Okay. All right. This next one, remember, you got to find the total year's pay. I will warn you tomorrow, because I know, like, I think Dyer asked yesterday, is it 50 or 52? I'll tell you tomorrow during the test, like, how many weeks you're going to work that year, because you got to calculate your total year and then multiply that by 2.5. That'll figure out what your mortgage can be. This is the one where you have to use that crazy formula that I did yesterday. All that stuff will be given to you, certain terms, certain percent. Then you got to go calculate your monthly payments. If it's a different term, be careful, because you won't have 360 in the power, because you have to put the 12 times whatever number of years it was. And that's when you're calculating your monthly pay, you might have to divide by how many months that was. Okay? All right. Number 4, we got to yesterday. You had to use this chart to calculate what your payment was and how much interest you paid the bank. Yesterday we did this problem. It was quite a bit of money. Okay? All right. We're starting with number 5. It has its own chart, and we're working our way to the end today. So hopefully you have your practice guide. If you didn't grab a calculator, you might want one. Just saying. Tomorrow, remember, you need to bring a calculator. I only have 10. When they're gone, they're gone. Don't give me the attitude that you didn't get a calculator, because boo-hoo, don't care, grab one yourself.
Phone calculator?
So, no phones. If I see a phone, you immediately fail the test. You didn't get an option. You failed. I rip it up and you got a 0. And then you can take a retake. So, all right. So, yeah, no phones, please. All right. Now, let's walk through number 5 and go to our way to the end. So on this one, we're doing 9% interest, 25-year on a $30,000 principal. So this chart is for per 1,000. Remember, on test day, these 4 charts that you have will be cycling on the board every 5 to 10 seconds. So they'll be changing up constantly. So if you need to look at a chart like you couldn't read the number, I think they're pretty legible. But just on test day, if it's not, I'll make sure that it's that you can at least see it up on the board here. All right. So 25-year, $30,000 loan at 9%. So 25-year, 9% interest matches the here. Now what this is, per $1,000 you bought the house at, that's going to be your monthly payment, and then you can figure out your total. Okay, so here's how this works. How many thousands are in 30,000?
30.
30. Now, even if that was like a weird number, just divide by 1,000. That's how you figure out how many thousands are in your principal. This number, again, how I got this, I took this number and divided by 1,000 to figure out 30. This is the number, whatever that number is, you take times this thing right here that you just found. That's going to calculate your monthly payment. So 30 times 8.39. This will calculate your monthly payment. That's how it works. You have to calculate how many thousands you borrowed times whatever the chart told you. Now, if I'm doing the math here, that's kind of a bigger number. It's like, say again? Okay. So that makes sense. 251.70. Okay. Double check. Make sure you're typing those in that you're actually getting that. I agree. That sounds about right. And then the last thing you'll have to do, so that's your monthly payment. So you already got check mark number 1. You found the monthly payment. Boom. Did that. The next thing you have to do is figure out the amount you paid in total. So, how many years did I take my loan for?
25.
25. You're paying this monthly payment for 12 months of a year for 25 years. So you're taking your 251.70 times your 25 years times your 12. And again, where I'm getting that, 12 months a year, and this number of years you went for. Now again, where the 30 came from earlier is figuring out your principal divided by 1,000, how many thousands you borrowed. That's how that chart works. They even say it on the chart, you have to figure out what the monthly payment is per 1,000.
Where's the 12 come from? The months.
Months. It's 25 years for 12 months.
I
Yep.
flipped out.
These are good questions, we gotta figure this stuff out. Okay, I'm expecting this to be pretty big. It's gonna be significantly larger than the 30,000 you borrowed. Okay, what was the number roughly that we got in the end?
Let me see the two numbers.
75,000 something? That seems about right. Because remember, when you find a mortgage and you go long term, it kind of doubles, triples, quadruples. It's quite a bit of money.
Times 12.
Okay, are we comfortable with number 5, how to do it? Remember, the hint that will be on the test will say use the table. I'll keep that there because it's not like something you have to memorize. You have to use the table. The table will be on the board in case you can't see it. They'll also be printed on the test just like yours is. But I just like to see it like it gets blurry, like you get a smudge. You at least can look up on the board and see it. Okay, questions?
So then we just always take whatever the interest rate was, like, or whatever the term is.
Yeah, so whatever the term is, that's what you take times the monthly payment
And then whatever.
times 12.
And then for how many, whatever thousands, and then.
Yeah, it's whatever this number is divided by 1,000. That number, whatever that number is, so mine was 30, right? There's 30,000. That number you always take times the number on the chart. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay, good questions. Any other questions? These are good things. We gotta get this stuff figured out. Okay, moving on. Let's go to number 6. Because again, remember, I want to get through the end of this today, so that way you get a little bit of time. You can work on this. You can work on the homework that's due tomorrow. Both of these things are due by tomorrow. Even though we're doing this one basically together in class, but you still have that book assignment that's due tomorrow.
It's gonna do that swing pension.
All right. Okay. All right. Number 6. You have to do a meter reading. Remember, when you're doing a meter, I'm going to try to give you a picture that's really big like this again, because I want you to see it without a doubt. You know if it's past the number or if it's not past the number. So, how you do this is you always, jeez. So, we always have to read. If the number isn't past it, you always have to look at the previous number. So like on this one, I could understand that somebody would tell me 4, or somebody would say 3 because it doesn't look like it's kind of past the tick mark yet. So I don't really care. I'm gonna say it's 4. It's right on 4. I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah.
Okay? If you were saying 3, it's fine. I'll probably kind of look and see if it's questionable. Okay? This next one. I'm not quite back to 0 yet because the clock is ticking this way. I haven't reached 0 yet.
No.
So it's still 9.
Yeah.
Then on this one, you just passed 8. You get the idea, right? Read off the numbers. That's all you have to do on that problem. It's pretty straightforward. Meter reading. I will have a meter like that. It'll be really big. Without a doubt, you know how to do it. Okay, remember. Yeah. Because you always got to read the number. If you're not past the next one, you just have to read the small one. Okay, we're good? Meter reading is usually the one that most people find just they can do just fine. I try to make it big so you can actually see that I passed it. All right. Number 7. Now I picked this one on purpose because this one is the one that caused probably the most headaches on the homework. I'm going to hand back a bunch of homework today so you can make fixes and stuff. For some reason, this problem, which was I think page 97 or something like that, was a nightmare for some people because they didn't listen to me when I said what you're supposed to do.
It's 10,000.
Yeah, this is 10,000 in October, and you had to subtract. What most people were doing by accident was that I think it gave you something like this. It gave you August, September, October, November, and what people kept doing, which was really boggling my mind, they were taking the number you were at, but they were subtracting to like the first number that was on the chart. That is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to subtract the month before it. That's why, just to save time, and so that somebody doesn't make that stupid clerical error, I'm just giving you the 2 months you need. You have to subtract these. That is 10,000. You have to subtract 10,054, and we have to subtract the 9,402. You have to subtract them to figure out how much utility you use. In this case, it's gas. Okay, it's gonna be a small number, I'm expecting about 600-ish. There you go. Okay, so again, subtract it. Now, once you find that number, so we're saying 652 or something like that?
That's units.
Okay, that's your units. That's how many units of gas you used. Whatever that number was, 652. Okay, what you're gonna have to do is look at the story problem and then calculate what the price was that you just paid your utility bill. Each unit used is 75 cents. You have to multiply by 75 cents per unit. And this will give you how much money you're spending on your utilities that month or that year. I think this is annual. No, that was month. That was what? 49 bucks. 489. Jeez, 489. That makes more sense because you went 600 units.
2,600.
Yeah. So that's a lot of money. Okay, does everyone understand how to calculate that? You have to subtract, multiply by the number that's in the chart up above. I will change the price tomorrow. I will clearly warn you that it's not 75 cents anymore. Yeah, so yeah, if like you're at 9 and you went to that next one, you always add a 1. If it didn't, because I know there's a couple in the book that did something like this, where it was 6,000 and the next one was 7,000, you don't need to put a 1 in front of it because you know it's 6 to 7. So it's only when they go from 9 back to 0, because the meter is going around in circles. So when it goes past 9,000, goes to 10, they can't mark that. So then in this case, if this is my example, I wouldn't need to add a 1 in front of it.
You just subtract.
You just subtract. Bottom minus top. That type of thing. Yeah. The only time you have to add a 1 is when you clearly know that it went past 9,000 and they just wrote it wrong. I picked this problem on purpose because a lot of people are forgetting the 1 on that specific case, and some people kept subtracting by the first number on the chart and they got them all wrong. Like all wrong. That assignment was painful to grade.
Oh, no.
All right. Are we good with 7?
Yeah.
Okay, 8. Okay, number 8. All right, so number 8. You have to use this chart to figure out how much money the insurance company is going to pay on your home insurance, the homeowner's insurance. So you're going to find that mortgage and what they can pay in this situation.
Will there be a chart on our test?
What?
Will the chart be on
Chart will be there. And also, it'll be printed just like this, and I'll have it on the board in case it gets smudged or you can't read it. Because I'll blow it really big. It's gonna be big when you see it on the board. And I'll just keep rotating every 5 seconds. Okay, so you're having a $33,000 mortgage, maybe you made a really big down payment, so that's your home you're paying. You're going 25 years, and you have the year 5, there was a death in the mortgage homeowner. Okay? So 25 years, and you died on year 5. This is how much the insurance company is going to pay out.
Will you die like in year 4? Is that what happens?
They do a calculation. You find the number in between. You have to use a formula that they have for curves. It's an average slope formula that they use. I'm not going to cover that yet. That's something that we'll get like later. I mean, your insurance company will tell you exactly what it is. It's got to be between 100 and 92. You know that. So.
95.
Okay. All right. Question. Okay.
Say that you die like not in the very year.
It'll still cover 100%. Yep. So, it's within that year policy. So if it's within 1 year, we'll be talking that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. So you're gonna take your 33,500. You're gonna multiply by 92%. Notice how I wrote 92%. From the chart, 92% is 0.92. If your chart said 7%, that's 0.07, and that's what you have to multiply by. Because maybe it was in the last year. If it was in the year 25, you passed. So they cover the last 7%. Okay, whatever this number is, that's the number that the bank is going to pay out. It's going to be a pretty big number. It's going to be close to 33,000. Okay, I would say 30,000, 28,000, something in that ballpark.
30,000.
Say it again. 30,000. Okay. Yeah, it was gonna be a lot because 92% is still a lot of money out of the 33,000. Now, if your number doesn't make sense, like they're not gonna pay you more than what the house is worth originally. Think about that. All right, here we go. Last problem of the day. All right, that's it. Super easy. Okay, last one. I'm gonna give you a situation, and you're gonna have to calculate what the insurance price would be for an annual insurance. Now, this is annual insurance payments. Your insurance company could go different, it could go monthly, it could go, I think State Farm goes every 6 months. I'm going annual. Okay, here's how it works. You have to find the area that you live in. You have to figure out the type of house where wood frame. Here's my percent. That percent is very small. That's an actual percent number. So when you see that number, we have to move the decimal over 2 spots, like this. That's the part that a lot of people get wrong. You have to move the decimal over 2 spots. That's what we did in the last chart. That's what we did in the charts before. All that good stuff. So if it gives you a percent, you have to move the decimal over 2 spots to make it a number. Once you have that, you're going to multiply this on the actual value of the home. This is going to give you what you're going to pay per year for insurance for that home. Again, your insurance company has those charts because it depends on the area you live in and the time. So like for instance, in like Clear Lake, you might have to worry about flood insurance. If we lived in southern Iowa, you might be in a different area because you might have tornado damage that you have to cover. Garner, I think the only thing we ever have to worry about is if you live in a certain area of town, you'll have flood insurance because you're in a low. What? It doesn't flood that bad. It's like, I think they say it's every 4 or 5 years, you have a pretty bad flood. So yeah, this year is probably considered one of the bad years. So we probably won't see one of these years for a while. So, and it wasn't even that bad this year. I thought, it wasn't like 2008 where we had 5 feet of water in the basements.
Oh yeah. When I lived in
So-
5 feet of water.
Yeah, in Garner, some of these houses were like, the water was up to their like doorways for the first story.
Dude, it was ridiculous.
It was like almost everybody in town had to file insurance for their heater, their water heater, for deep freezers, anything they had in their basement.
Wow.
It was a big payout that year.
That's kind of nuts.
Is that all
Or-
for one too?
Yeah.
Or that year I woke up and there was water coming on the wall. And I woke up and
Yeah.
pulled water because I
Yep.
was upstairs.
They sell paint now that you can spread on your wall that will actually prevent water from actually seeping through.
Yeah,
the
it
walls.
glows red when it happens. When you turn it on, it goes off in the it's like, water!
Okay, hey, the rest of the time is yours. You can work on this. Hopefully you already have it done, but if you don't, you can fill this out. Remember, this practice guide is due tomorrow. Test is tomorrow. Right when you walk in, you do need calculators. There's more than 10 of you in here. I don't want to have that person complain they couldn't grab a calculator. I have 10, you have to bring them. Okay? Page 89, 91, 103, 105, that's due tomorrow. Get that done. I'm going to hand back papers, you can make fixes.
What is their voice?
Rick, number 11, 4,